This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan, real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Oker, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, talking about those lines. And I'm here today to give you a full, detailed recap of Brad Holmes and the trade deadline for the Lions. Alright, everybody, that's what I got. I'll catch you next time. I could end the show right there. I really could, because the Detroit Lions did absolutely nothing at the trade deadline. Nothing. So much to say about this. You guys saw me put out on the Twitter machine, throw it out on X, that I was torn because I know the importance of draft capital, draft picks. I understand that Brad, at least during the NFL draft, is always over for business. Holmes does very well with those picks and likes to wheel and deal. But players went for low cost, some of them, some exorbitant amounts. The Lions were in need of pass rush, corner, defensive help overall, and recently everybody got on this O-line train. You gotta bring back Kevin Zeitler, you gotta beef this up, you gotta do that. It's very unfortunate that Christian Mahogany has a broken ankle, broken bone in his foot, something like that. Gonna be out for a long time. Dan freaking Campbell said that's too bad. I mean, Christian Mahogany is a nasty player, a good football player, but he hasn't blown me away with his moving of people in the run game or the way he's played throughout this year. But the minute that happened, people are like, you got to shift Tate Rat to center, you gotta move this guy to left, you gotta sign and trade, or you gotta trade for Zeitler, bring him back because he knows the system. It's all this stuff was going down, and I'm kind of I agree the old line hasn't been as good as previous years. I don't know, probably because Frank Ragnow is no longer here, and we got a couple young cats, and Glasgow isn't getting any younger, and last time I checked, not getting much better at football, if not getting quite a bit worse. So you kind of knew it was going to be rough, but it's still a glaring thing for people because we're just so used to blowing people off the ball, getting 5 yards of crack, being physical in the run game. So I can understand where that would be a want, not necessarily a need, but everybody was so focused. You got to beef up the O-line. And they say that too because Jared Goff's been a little skittish. So it's like, if you protect Jared Goff perfectly, he'll be incredible, which he has been in the past. He usually is, but you're not going to get some superior upgrade at no cost at this point in the season, for most teams. So I didn't expect that. To me, the best trade that we didn't make that you don't have to make is that Miles Frazier, boom, baye, might be coming back. He could play to the left. You keep Tayrad on the right. You hope that Glasgow plays a little bit better at center. Like, you just keep rolling. Taylor Decker is TBD if you ask me, but we'll see. I hope he plays the rest of the season. I hope he plays well. Penne's a little dinged up on the right side, so there's a lot going on with that O-line. But as far as an O-line goes, I'm much more apt to want to keep who I have, let these young guys season a little bit more, ride out the rough bumps than to just add some overpriced veteran. Or people like, give up a second rounder for this Bumsky from Cleveland who's 35, and it's like, but he used to be good. It's like, no, we're not giving up a invaluable asset like a mid to lower tier second rounder for a guy that was good 4 years ago that has probably 1 or 2 seasons left on his bump card. No. So as much as I joke with the Crickets gimmick or the Brad used to always be open for business, now sleeping at the wheel homes, it's like I really didn't see many deals where it's like, oh, we should have done that. Oh, what a good price there. Oh, we could have had. Gosh, you guys can tell the voice is still rough. This cough continues to linger. So I apologize for the audio at times, but I'm trying to work my way through it. At Chops in the D, my co-host, hit me up and was like, "Oh, Curry, traveling from West Coast. Of course I got delayed. I can't do it till 10:30 p.m. at night. You want to do it?" No, I don't. I don't want to do it then. I want to get the show in the books, get to all my other craziness that I have in my life, and keep it rolling for the people. So he couldn't make it today, but it's you're looking around and you're just kind of like, the Jalen Phillips for a third was intriguing. I like the player. I don't mind that price point, but you don't have any thirds because you gave up every third, fourth type round pick you had because you had to have Sony Vaki, you had to have Gio Manu, you definitely had to have Isaac Tesla. And so you fresh out, not only this year, next year, and moving forward, unless you get some comp picks or some coaching picks or whatever it may be. So just looking at these other picks, like Logan Wilson for a 2026 7th. I mean, this is a good football player, but last time I checked, we got Reward, Jack Campbell, we've got Fabio, we've got Derek, I can't spell my name correctly, Barnes. How much better would Derek Barnes be if it was just Derek Barnes? That's the way it always should be spelled. Everybody knows this. But I'm partial. I mean, people are like, oh, Trevor Penning went to the Chargers. That would have been a nice little move. Have you looked at how Trevor Penning's played since he's been in the National Football League? It's not good, okay? I'm glad that he was able to throw people out the club, and he's this tough guy. He's going to do this, going to do that. Yeah, that was all his draft profile card. And then since he's come in the league, he's a turnstile. He's hurt. He can't block anyone. He's not very good. So I'm glad he's tough, but he's not good at football. Joe Tryon Shryinka to the Bears for a 6th they got a 7th and gave up a 6th. I mean, people laughed at that move, and I'm like, Tryon Shryinka is a pretty good pass rusher, and he's young. So I don't mind that. I mean, look at the Cowboys being absolute kooks. Like, they got an okay price on Logan Wilson, but then you go give a first for Quinnen Williams, the big old DT from the Jets, who I like, but he hasn't been incredible, AG over there in NYC was like, let's get all our good players out and start over. So I actually heard that terrible show in the afternoons with that one dude who hates the Lions. Oh, yeah, and that other guy who hates the Lions. They were like, oh, I would have given up a first for Quinnen Williams. You know we have AKA Honeybun, AKA Twinkle Toes, AKA who's now back. And we also just drafted Tyleek Williams. And we also have other big bodies. But you're also going to trade a first for a position you're already pretty stacked at. You've already paid players at that position. You already used draft capital. And you're going to what? Play Quinnen Williams and Honeybun next to each other and sit down Tyleek? Or you're going to move him to outside shade and let him wrestle? Like, that show is why that show is that show. Because they have no clue. They always come on and say, oh, if it was me, I would have went for it. And I can't believe we're not trying to win championships. Like, you guys don't know ball. You would never be able to manage a salary cap or make trades. Just shut the hell up. You know, oh, wow, Quinnen Williams, a good player. We should have got him. I don't mind a first-round pick. We already have young, talented players at that spot. What are you going to play, 3 DTs? Anyway. So that was Sauce Gardner to the Colts. Could Sauce Gardner have been a nice upgrade to Terrion, who we love, but he doesn't really play that good at football yet? Yet he had his first pick, and he's showing signs, and he came back miraculously from a horrible shoulder injury that was supposed to put him out forever, Dan Campbell said, and like 2 weeks later he was back playing, after the bye included. So, yeah, Sauce Gardner's a great player. They also paid him buco bucks, which we don't have available recently, so you're obtaining that contract. You also the Colts gave up 2 first-rounders and a young rookie player with talent named Adonai Mitchell at the wide receiver position. So, no, I'm not paying that price. I'm not paying 2 firsts and $30 million a year or whatever Sauce makes on his new deal to have him. Oh, but Okrie, he's from Detroit. I don't care. I'm not doing that based on price. We already have other players. I like DJ. That's my DJ. I like TA. I like Amik. I could pay all those guys 3 times over for 1 year of Sauce on his new deal. So, no. I mean, a couple of receivers, Shaheed and Jacoby Myers went for low cost, a 4th and a 6th, a 4th and a 5th. I mean, I like some of their talents, but we obviously didn't need that type of player. Kyle Duggar to the Steelers, Keon White to the 49ers. First, that's one that jumps out to me. Keon White for a 6th. Keon White's like a big Lions-type edge player that can also beat you up inside and move around the D-line. And he's young. He's only been in the league like 3 to 4 years. And he went for 6th. There must be some kind of injuries or whatever. So that I'm just going through like just the general trade moves. You know, Draymond Jones went to the Ravens, which I don't quite understand. The Ravens keep acquiring old defensive players or defensive help, thinking that they're going to catch fire and just win all these games and make the playoffs and go on a run. I don't see that happening. So people wanted Draymond Jones to the Lions. And it's like, he's a decent player, a bit older, maybe come here for a rental season and could have been decent, but they gave up a 5th to get him. I mean, I don't know that I want to do that for that type of player. Jair Alexander went to the Eagles. Yes, he used to be a good corner, really good corner, but he's a crazy person. Jair Alexander is an absolute kook. He is going to disrupt most locker rooms. Now, you go to Philly and you have all these guys from Georgia and they're winning games. You might actually be on your P's and Q's, but I think he's past his time. And like I say, just attitude issues, kind of just aloof, weirdo, that type of thing. So he wouldn't be their alliance type player. So those are the main moves I see. And as I noted, do any of those other than the couple that I mentioned that are somewhat intriguing, whether it be Keon White or a guy like Jalen Phillips for if it would have got a 4th for him or whatever. Okay, but nothing else screamed to me we had to have it. You had to do this. The Lions are going to use Miles Frazier to beef up their O-line. They're getting guys like TA back. They'll get DJ Reed back. They may get Josh Pascal back if he's ever healthy. who else am I forgetting that we're going to get back? Maybe, and this is a big time maybe, Marcus Fattenport might be back. Maybe he lost a couple pounds or can get himself right. You get after the quarterback. You've got our linebackers are pretty much set. We'd love to get Kerbo back. They're saying that knee injury is worse than expected or not healing the way they hoped, so there's that. But you get a bunch of these guys back on defense. You solidify that O-line with another young, big, nasty guy like Miles Frazier, and your guys get a little healthier. Taylor Decker plays multiple games, doesn't have any shoulder issues. That would be ideal. But there's a lot of question marks right now. I'm not going to lie, especially the way they played against the Minnesota Vikings, where they made no real good adjustments. They couldn't block up the blitz. They couldn't do anything on offense. They got cooked in certain ways on defense. And they just look lackluster. I had some friends that were at that game who just were like, Okri, this team, like, what? They didn't even look like they tried. They came off the bye week and they just sleptwalked through that game. No sense of urgency, no exertion, no want to, no get after it to try to get that dub. Just took the L, like laying down. It's hard to disagree with that. So I know the fan base is all upset. Oh, we didn't do anything, bro. I was asleep. We could have done this. We should have done that. I talked about the afternoon show, which we all know is terrible. I mean, I don't have to ask Charles, but I will. Hey, Charles, what do you think of that show on 97.1 The Ticket that comes on in the late afternoon?
That's terrible.
I agree. Then you got the afternoon show who just like everything's optimistic. Oh, the Lions are gonna make these moves. They're gonna beef up the O-line. I have no question. They're always kind of. It's not even Kool-Aid drinking. We have fun with the Kool-Aid here on the show. The optimism, the excitement about the Lions. Drink it in, everybody.
Drink it in, man.
Side of cornbread.
Cornbread.
Make it a double.
Cornbread.
But the afternoons on 97.1 is just like piffy. Oh, we love the quarterback because he comes on every week and talks to us. And, they're going to be okay. Go get them, Skipper. Oh, they're going to be positive and do this. And it gets old real quick. Especially when one person on that show puts in, like, no effort. The other one, like, just talks down to people because they're not some uppity, detail-oriented whatever, and it's just frustrating to listen to. In the mornings, you got Costa, who I somewhat enjoy, and John Jansen, hashtag Go Blue, but it's like, I have nowhere else to turn for sports talk, so I have to listen to these people, like, tell me what the Lions are gonna do, why they gotta do this. If they don't, it's a failure. You're not going for it. You don't care. You're not gonna be able to compete with Philly and whoever else made a couple moves. It's like, no, the Lions strategy, in case you haven't looked, is draft, develop, retain. So they're not just going to give away draft picks for aging veterans. They're not in a quote-unquote 1 to 2 year window like everybody thinks, where you got to go get it now. If you don't do it, you're going to miss your opportunity. Oh, I have the guys calling up, oh, I've been watching the Lions for 68 years, and all I want to see is a Super Bowl before I die. It's like they're trying to get you a Super Bowl, bro, and part of that is paying their guys, protecting their draft assets, and not going out and doing some stupid move for a guy who gets hurt a game or two after they trade for him, and now you're right back where you started, only you got a big contract. And now you got no second-round pick. You got no first-round pick, whatever it may be, because you had to have a player who didn't going to do anything for you. But, great, what if we trade for him and they're the reason we go and win the Lombardi? Yeah, one player is not going to do that. You know what is going to do that? Having a damn good football team that's healthy at the right time, playing great football, and is able to grind out dubs and get to the big game and then cash it in. That can happen with this current roster, especially on the offensive side of the football, but you have to be able to block it up, and you have to be able to create turnovers on defense and play stickier in coverage. You do those things, you will be in the mix here to win the whole thing based on your current roster with no additions. So everybody needs to calm down, You kept your draft picks. You didn't go get some bum. Yeah, you didn't beef up anywhere on your roster. The Lions will go into the clearance rack and will go get some guys on the practice squad. They'll beef up some guy that just came off a shift from the bowling alley that'll probably play better than you ever expected. And they'll just keep it rolling. They're hopefully going to beat down Washington, who doesn't have a quarterback. Then they got hard test against Philly. They're going to play Minnesota on Christmas. They got the cheddars, the mozzarella sticks on Turkey Day. You know what it is. Win one game at a time. Get your guys right. And get that grit back to get these dubskis. Everybody, that's about 20 here before I even took a half breath or a commercial break. So I know we mixed some commercials in throughout the show, but I'm going to take a quick pause. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to come back and talk more about that Minnesota loss. Maybe I got more roster thoughts. I'll come up with something, hopefully entertain you and talk ball before I get up out of here. And then at Chops in the D says he's going to come with a Friday Koolaid packet for the people.
And the people consist of the millions.
Where he's going to preview this Washington game, give you all these thoughts, probably repeat half the things that I've said on my last couple solos and pretend that he came up with it and all that type of goodness. So everybody, likes to take a quick pause. I'll be back with more Lions talk right after this. All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. Kool-Aid drinkers, I'm back. Thank you so much for checking out the show, repping the show, sharing the show, hollering at the show, downloading the show. You know what it is. Appreciate all of you and the loyal, diehard fans, listeners of this show. You are the absolute best. Speaking of the best, has anybody been watching Pistons hoops or Red Wings recently? Because I feel like we got a heck of a fun hockey team to watch, and the Detroit Pistons are must-see TV. Whether it be Cade doing all types of things, filling up the stat sheet, you got Jalen Duren putting up like 18 and 18, you got Asar kind of coming into his own, you got Ron Holland, who I love more and more. Every time I see him, you got Beef Stew, which I used to make fun of that nickname. Now it's so great because the dude is dieseled up. He'll fight anyone. He can actually hit threes now. He hustles. He plays great ball. I love everything about him, especially the headband and the hair that he's got going now. Finally looks right, playing right, everything right. I mean, I like this team a lot. I mean, don't let me go down the roster with my guy Tobias, and you're going to get Jaden Ivey back. I mean, that's a fun team. And like hashtag choppy hockey, we'll tell you all about those Red Wings. But I root for them big time. I love some of the young kids coming in. Larkins played better than I have seen in the past, which I was hoping for. And getting some good goaltending at certain points after a rough first game and couple games, and teams putting up dubs too, so all good there on the Detroit sports front. Everybody better watch out too for my Michigan Hoops. You know that at Go Blue Lexi 117 is going to be shouting them out because they had their first game and they got height, length, athletes. You got a point guard wearing the number 1 who's just doing everything. I loved everything I saw with the little bit I watched of that game. It's almost hard sometimes. I got Wings on, I got Pistons on, Michigan Hoops is on, Monday Night Football. What the heck do I watch? And by the way, I have no time to watch any of this. I got so much to do. I can barely sleep or get anything done. By the time I go to bed, it's 2 a.m. I'm up by 5, rolling on everything I got going. And then I give you 3 Lions pods a week, 2 Kool-Aid packets, and here on the flagship? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. I would shout out all you listeners, but I got to get to this. This guy is a listener. He's kind of become a fan favorite on the show. I don't know if Chops likes him. He's a good buddy of mine all the way back to high school days. But my buddy Wagner continues to hit me up on the text, and he's like, Okri, what is wrong with your boy Bargain Bin Brad? Why is he always looking for the price points that end in 97 cents? You know, they're on those orange price tags. You know, the clearance items. You know, why is he always pinching pennies? Why doesn't he ever go for it? Like, you know he's not going to spend anything unless it's off the clearance rack, unless it's buy 2, get 1 free, unless it's, used to be $42 and now it's $8.97. Like, special. I don't know what to tell. Why I keep telling him that, like, you know, it's a delicate dance between draft picks, going for it, and what to spend and when. You can't just spend top dollar and figure out it down the later. That catches up with you. You don't want to just give away draft picks when, in case, I don't know if you know that the guy you're calling Bargain Bin Brad, who has been pretty bad in free agency and has made some ho-hum trades, he isn't Bargain Bin Brad come draft day. He's pulling off the top shelf items, the most expensive Gucci bag that they've got. This guy does work in the draft, but yes, he doesn't want to spend for anyone. I heard Dan freaking Campbell say, like, well, we'll look at anything if the price is right. What's the right price for you guys? Like $9.97? You know, $1.97? 97 cents, buy 2, get 2 free? Like, they have no good price point that makes sense to anyone else that's a fan or other teams in the National Football League. It's like, if you're going to get a guy for free, or if you can get him on a, like, you know, just...
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. It's running the world on smarter energy. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
This episode is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has movies. So many movies. The movies you've seen 1,000 times and could watch 1,000 more. Iconic movies your friends can't believe you haven't seen. New movies, classic movies, new takes on classic movies. So whether you're into Top Gun or The Naked Gun, Mean Girls or Mission Impossible, Smurfs or Sonic the Hedgehog, there's a mountain of movies to discover on Paramount Plus. Start streaming today.
Hey there, it's Dr. Sanjay Gupta with some exciting news to share. CNN is now streaming. That means you can read, watch, and stream everything in one subscription. You can watch news live 24/7. You can also explore catch-up videos and explainer videos. And you can also watch the library of CNN's originals, including my latest documentary, It Doesn't Have to Hurt. Just go to cnn.com/all-access.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you're heading to the gym, the office, or just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has your back. So if you haven't tried it yet, head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
That absolute cheapo deal, then I guess the Lions are interested, but they have not shown the ability to crack open for a guy that they don't know, or that they don't think they know. Or maybe they don't want to crack the wallet open for guys they think they know what they are. But we've all seen guys that had a bad rap or were injured a lot that all of a sudden go somewhere, maybe get paid or whatever the case may be, and they ball out. So sometimes I think the Lions are just too set on, we got to know the player. We're not going to overpay ever. We don't want to give up any draft capital unless it's fifths. And they're not even fifth. They love to just give up 6 sevenths. But then come draft day, Brad, always open for business homes. We'll give you 2/3, a third next year, a second if he needs to get a guy he has to have in round 3 or 4. So, Wagner, I don't know what to tell you, man. One of these days we're going to get you on the show and see if you can actually bring it, have takes, and entertain the people. But your texts entertain me because you just come at him with like TikTok, B3. You've got takes like Eagles are doing what Super Bowl window contenders do. Meanwhile, Bargain Bin Brad is calling around asking where the orange sticker aisle is. Come on. Stuff like that. You're texting me. You're telling me about Jared Goff's wobbly spirals, which I agree with you on. You've come around to most of the gimmicks on the show, but this whole beating up Brad Holmes is your gimmick to live and die on, and it's a hard one because he's been so damn good in the draft. He's built such a damn good football team, and you just kill him because he didn't go out and spend 2 first-round picks to get a 27-year-old guy that is good, but he makes $35 million, and you think that's going to be the final piece. You don't know. Maybe. Could be. TBD. I don't know. We're not going to see because he ain't going to do that. Here's a thing, too, I want to hit on this second segment. At Kyle Brandt on Twitter in the X Machine, he writes, I hate trading good players for picks. Always have. Draft picks are lottery scratch-offs. Fun to hold in your hand, but most of them don't win you anything. Especially if you always whiff on the biggest ones. Like, what is that? To me, that's a guy that he made up that take 8 years ago. He's living and dying with that take no matter what. Hey, Kyle Brandt, have you ever watched and looked around, or do you understand what draft picks can get you if you know what you're doing and when you make the right ones? You're like saying if you always whiff on the big ones. Like, okay, here's a take by Kyle Brandt. If you never get draft picks right, I'd rather have a good veteran. Wow, that's mind-blowing. Like, unbelievable thoughts and opinions from the Good Morning Football host out there. I like Kyle Brandt. I loved him when he was on Jim Rome show. He's been good on Good Morning Football. But takes like this are old man takes of just like, I'd rather have a good player than a young guy that I don't know what he's going to do. Really? You'd rather have a mid-career, decent football player than a second-round, 22-year-old, makes $3 million a year, could be an all-pro for multiple years, don't have to pay him till year 5, 6, whatever it is. That doesn't make any sense. Now, the counterpoint I would say is that Brad used to formerly, I'm not sure anymore, used to be open for business homes. Like, he pays guys that produce. You show him that you can play and put up numbers, he will pay you and he will be glad to have you on his football team. That is a prudent way to go about it. It's worked for him because him and Dan Campbell could say, man, if you come to Detroit and you do what you're supposed to and you produce and you help us win ball games, we will reward you. Okay, great. That's one way to do it. That's almost like saying, hey, anybody that's good, I'll take care of, but I got to know you're going to be good first. It's just like, you have to project still. You have to do what Brad Holmes does as well, which is nail draft picks, not give them away, so that then you get superstars. You get, how should I say this? Let's see if I can still do this with the voice of the cough. You need, I guess I'll use the word elite football players, and you find those with first, second, third round draft picks. Dead nut starters from day one, like that I said, are 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, whatever it may be. They're from highly rated programs. They're handpicked by you in the organization. You grow them up. You don't have to pay them any money until basically you're 4 or 5. That's how you find.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
The Lincoln Wishlist sales event is happening now. Here's what's on everyone's wish list. Enjoying holiday jingles with brilliant 3D audio that surrounds you? Check. Watching snow flurries through the panoramic Vista roof? Check. Packing up presents with the spacious Lincoln Splitgate? Check. Everything you want. All standard on the 2025 Lincoln Navigator SUV. Visit your local Lincoln retailer or learn more at Lincoln.com for exceptional offers on 2025 Lincoln vehicles today.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana. Game-changing, franchise-changing players. You don't do it by doing this take of Kyle Brandt of saying, I hate trading good players for picks, because you're assuming those picks aren't going to be Hall of Fame players. You'd rather have a good player that you like or that's been okay in the league than that lottery ticket that could be a franchise-changing Hall of Fame, have him here for a decade-plus player. That's very short-sighted in my opinion. That is straight up like, tell me it's sunny outside and I'll go out and enjoy the day. But if I don't know what it's going to be like, I can't take the chance. I'm just going to stay in, or I don't want to get rained on. I'm sure it's going to rain. You don't know. You can't always guarantee what the weather's going to be, but you still go outside. You still go to work. You still take your kids out. You still do what you got to do. So I don't know what that was by Kyle Brandt. It's one of those, you hear these people, the thing I agree with Brad Holmes on too is it's easier to get worse at positions than it is to get better. But you also don't say, well, I'm going to keep all my quote unquote good players because I don't know what my draft picks are going to be. You know how Brad Holmes operates? He keeps good, productive players and is willing to pay guys that show out for him. But he's keeping and hoarding all his draft picks because he knows he's just going to go pluck just studs. Absolute studs. You think there's any players that went on this trade deadline that Brad Holmes thinks he can't outdo with his first, second? Oh, he doesn't have any third-round picks. But that he can probably even find guys that are younger and possibly better in the fourth and fifth rounds of the draft? Yes, he does. So don't give me this, I keep good players and I'm willing to just give away my picks to get decent to good players. Or, I hate to just give away Quinnen Williams, who's a good player, or some of these other good players because I want that first round pick. Just wait and see what Dallas goes and gets not Dallas, what AG over there in New York does with those multiple firsts. Dude today, the New York Jets and Aaron Glenn, former defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, he picked up 3 ones today. 2 for Sauce and 1 for Quinnen. Do you think, in your right mind, that in 2 to 3 years we're going to look and say that he didn't get probably a franchise quarterback, other top-end offensive, defensive players, and say, oh, I wish I had that DT that was already 27, probably 29 at that point. Or, man, we really liked Sauce and we paid him, but instead of the guy making $30 million, I got 2 defenders that make a total of $5 million, and they're just as good when you combine their talents. Okay, that's my rant. Kyle Brandt, I love you, buddy. You're hilarious. You're great at what you do. That's a terrible take. That's an old, just, I want what I can see rather than project what others can't see and get more. You just want what you got. You don't want more because you're scared that's going to be less. All right, so I'm going to get up out of here, I think. The voice is hanging on. There's no reason to rehash the Minnesota game. Here's your rehash. We lost. We were not the better team on that day. Our O-line was terrible. Tell them, Charles.
That's terrible.
We couldn't get off the field when we needed to on defense. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, D-Mo, J-Mo, Saint, Laportas were not good enough, didn't put up enough points, no sense of urgency, and you lost. You lost a division game, a game you should have had. If the Lions win that game and then they take care of business against Washington, which we all know they'll do, then you're coming home for games, or then what? You're going to Philly, but then you got games, like I said before, Green Bay in your house on Thanksgiving. You've got a couple other tough football games in there, and you also have big-time, prime-time, holiday-type games heading down the stretch, which could win you the division and set you up for seeds, and instead you dropped a game you should have had. And now you got to go get a game you should have. And then you got to beat a team that on paper everyone's going to pick over you, which is Philly. And then you have to get a lick back against the cheddars and the mozzarella sticks and the gorgonzola and the goat cheese when you're filling up your plate with turkey, stuffing, and all the fixings. So the Lions need to make up for that loss. It's not the end of the world. I'm not freaking out, but I'm not happy. And they didn't play well, and they don't look like they're together when it comes to O-line, play calling, defense, health. But that could all change in a few weeks. I can still see that Thanksgiving game being an absolute big-time showdown. I see Green Bay getting it together in the next couple weeks. I see the Lions getting it together. Let's have a Thanksgiving game for the division lead at Ford Field with everybody enjoying the holiday with their family, where it's family, football, and food. Look forward to that, everybody. That's my trade deadline rants, opinions, takes, and a whole bunch of other goodness. I hope you enjoyed it, everybody. That's what I got. And I'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. I'm out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is